What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. I hope you guys had a great holiday and everything settled down and back together and you guys are ready for that M day. The day after tomorrow. Monday. Yeah. Story time. Story time. You guys know I made a commitment to do one of these every night, and that hasn't changed. This one, I was actually pretty excited to stumble across, because a lot of what we've watched so far has been pretty old, which they've all been amazing, but I'm excited to see what he's turned it into, or what changes he might have made. This is actually from his birthday bash. By him, I mean Mr. Tim Foust himself. You know, the angel, vocal corded comedian, model man. Guy could probably be an astronaut if he wanted to be. I'm just kidding. Well, I'm not kidding, but I am. Anyways, let's check this out. Hopefully this qualifies. I probably should have made sure it was a story time. But either way, it's Tim with a mic in his hand. I think we win, right? Yeah, we win. Okay, let's check this out, guys. I'm excited to maybe laugh, or maybe cry like I almost did in the Nene video. Good Lord. You guys ready? Huh? Get some popcorn, get a drink, get some tissues in case it gets a little out of hand here. I'm ready to laugh, so hopefully that's what we're doing. But either way, Mr. Foust, take it away, sir.
I'm just going to sit here and stare at the camera until it cuts off.
It's not.
It's just going to cut off in the middle of my story, and that's fine.
Look at this silver fox. Man, I wish I kept my hairline so I could rock that look. God, way to go, Tim.
It's just going to cut off in the middle of my story, and that's fine. I'm 40 years old. I don't know if you heard that. Come on, give me some applause for making it to 40. I've lived on the road for the last 20 years of my life. It's amazing that I've made it to 40, to be honest with you.
20 years? He's been doing this for 20 years, and he still looks this good, has this much discipline, has retained this much. Wow. Wow.
That happened.
I hope I look like that.
Wow, the pandemic really took a toll on you.
I hope I look like that in 7 years. I'm 33, man. Jeez.
Took a toll on you. The secret is I've been coloring my hair for years. Just like everybody else, I stopped going to the salon during the pandemic. And after about 8 months, I was like, well, I'm kind of through the awkward middle phase now. I'll never get another chance, to get through that. And so I decided I'm just going to let it go. Much to the dismay of our manager. Hates it. Some of y'all like it, right?
I love it.
I wasn't ready to be long-haired gray guy yet, Wasn't quite ready to be Willie. So we're going shortish for a little while, and we'll see what happens. Maybe
I love it.
Like William Golden, one day I'll just let it all go. Just stop grooming it all whatsoever. We'll see, but we're a little ways away from that. So in the meantime, I've got this metrosexual hairdo, and I hope it's working for you.
Oh yeah.
It's working for me, and it's way more comfortable.
Hey, miss, with the camera. Let's calm down, okay? I just heard a bra strap, I think. Let's relax a little bit, okay? He's just asking you if you like his haircut, all right? Good Lord.
Oh yeah.
It's working for me, and it's way more comfortable in the summertime, I'll tell you that.
Yes.
I've done a lot of really cool stuff in my life, but I'm always, embracing new experiences. I'm always looking for, something fresh, I'm an adventurous fella. And so I'm always trying to do new things, but, you know, at 40, and when you've lived on the road for 20 years, I've done most of the things I wanted to do, so sometimes I have to stretch myself even further to find new experiences. So on my birthday, I pooped at a Waffle House. We're all family.
What? He what? You what? You've been on the road for 20 years, and at 40, you for the first time dropped the kids off at a Waffle House pool? Really? Dude, I had a janitor. I ruined a janitor's entire day at a Waffle House. I think I was like 23. Like I told you, I can't have regular sugar, okay? My digestive stuff doesn't work very good. So, sorry, Mr. Janitor, sir. I still feel bad about that.
We're all family here, right? I mean, I'm an old guy now. I've begun oversharing. You know that's what we do. I've decided I'm just going to start early. And by the time I get to 80, if that's a thing, then people will forgive me for whatever I say. You can ask my wife. That's a 100% true story. But that's not what I wanted to tell you, people.
Okay.
I got my very first tattoo.
Let's go. What is it? What is it?
To unveil it for you folks. It's not much to it. It's a little guy, but it means something special to my wife.
Where are we going with
Well,
this?
y'all know that Jenica Marion is a shark enthusiast.
Hey, come on. Yeah. Good Lord.
There it is, folks. What's that? Venice? That's a place, yep. Anybody else want to yell out a city? I think she lives in Venice Beach, Florida. Am I correct about that? She knows that Jenica and I often go down there when we have free time and go hunting for shark teeth. I don't know if you guys know that, but Venice Beach has a lot of shark teeth. I guess it was a hotbed for shark activity millions of years ago, and so there's all these fossilized shark teeth if you're willing to dig down in the dirt, which we are. So I recommend it. It's really, really cool thing actually to find fossilized shark teeth. And if you're super lucky, some people find megalodon teeth out there. We have not found that yet, but I encourage you to Google megalodon teeth. And I encourage you to just, never stop seeking out.
It looks something like this right here. If this was a tooth, that's kind of what it looks like. If you're not familiar with megalodon, one of my many interests. Not going to get into that whole rabbit hole. But I have also been to Venice Beach. I wasn't able to find any shark teeth, but I also wasn't really looking for them. We try to go to Florida every year as a family when possible. Hasn't been possible many years recently, but we did go last year actually. But it was quite a stretch from last year to the previous time before that, like 12 years or so, I want to say. So, okay, we don't go every year. Sometimes we go to Florida. God, what am I talking about? But Venice Beach is beautiful. The water is... See, I'm from Maine, okay? If we get sharks on our shores, it's got rabies or something. Because our ocean, it doesn't clear like 40 degrees. It could be August and 100 out, and you're going to be freezing in that water. Like, it's just the way it is. So, sharks and other sketchy creatures, other than jellyfish, we do have those. But other than that, sketchy creatures on the shoreline is not something we deal with. So every time we go to Florida, I'm like, oh, that's cute. There's a pool at the house, That's where I'll be. I'll be by the pool, and and just pretending it's the beach. Because, nope. Nah. The ocean's like 75 degrees and the sharks come right up. Hey, what'd you have for dinner? I'm going to have you. Is that cool? Yeah, no. Nope. Bye, Mr. Sharky. Nope.
And I encourage you to just, never stop seeking out new experiences. Get a tattoo, poop at a Waffle House, whatever you need to do that.
Amen.
Now, tell you another story, and I can't remember if I've ever told this on stage, probably because I'm getting old. I used to work on a cruise ship, several cruise ships, many cruise ships, but one in particular I worked on what is considered a 6-star cruise line, Crystal Cruises.
Whoa.
It's pretty much just super old, super rich people just looking for something to complain about. I'm not kidding. Our very first performance, we had to wear tuxedos. I was like, what? Okay. So we wore tuxedos, and we were nervous because the producer of the act said, hey, I finally got this contract with Crystal. So we invited me and a couple of his favorite guys to go in there and hopefully make him look good. And we did our first performance, and we know it's all about ratings, so we're waiting for the feedback. And we got one bit of feedback from a lady in the front row who said, our shoes weren't shiny enough. I'm not even kidding. Ended up being a really fun contract, believe it or not. We figured out how to get them on their side. I just wasn't myself. But it worked out for everyone, and I got to travel all over the world, and I got to visit South America all the way down to Antarctica.
Wow.
Even. But we were in, let's see, where were we? We were in Punta Arenas, Chile, and I missed the ship. Yeah. Not my fault. There was bad weather, and so they decided to leave early. They claimed that they made an announcement in every single room. Didn't play in mine. The only thing I would have had to notice as I was leaving the ship, a little board on the side there that said, oh, by the way, we're leaving hours earlier now. Somehow I'm the only one who didn't see that, and a friend of mine that I was with. The only two people that did not see this sign. And so we're having a wonderful dinner in Chile, and then we get back to where the boat was. And it's not there. Now, I've heard lots of stories about, people getting there a little late and you see it sailing away, and usually you can commandeer a vessel or, bribe somebody to take you out there, and they'll let you in the side door. This thing's not even in sight. And
oh my God.
She doesn't speak a lick of Spanish either, and she's pleading with this guy. She's like, no, you were in the wrong place. Big boat. And I'm like, this is the place. The boat is very much gone. So we go and check with Port Authority, which is the protocol, and our passports are there, which means the boat did in fact leave us. By the way, they hate it when you call it a boat. It's a ship. And they're very serious about that, but they left me, so I'm calling it a boat. Our passports are there. That's what happens when they have to leave somebody behind. They at least leave your passports with Port Authority. Thankfully, and it just so happened that the head guy at Port Authority, his father-in-law owned a rental car dealership. The weather was so bad down there rounding Cape Horn, I think it is down there, that's why they left early, and they were having to hightail it around Cape Horn, which is already pretty dangerous. And so it's actually fortunate, because the weather was so bad, that we weren't able to fly to meet them at the next place, because that is normally what protocol is. It's on you. If you miss the boat, you have to pay whatever it takes to get yourself to the next place. And there was one place at the tip of Cape Horn that you have to go by private plane or helicopter. Thankfully, that was not an option. So, next best thing, rent a car and drive 9 hours through unpaved mountain roads from Punta Arenas, Chile to Ushuaia, Argentina. 100% true story. And
oh, wow. That's brutal. Oh my God. Can you imagine the feeling in your stomach? Then we leave, I think we left the ship here. Have you guys seen my ship? It's about yay big. Oh my god. Unpaved road. I have a story time for you guys about a long journey on unpaved roads, but for a different day.
And so, by the time we kind of get this sorted out, we had called the ship, talked to them. They were very understanding. They knew it was nobody's fault really. They left early. We didn't get the memo, so they were cool about it. And they said, it's fine. We'll meet you in Ushuaia, Argentina. We've got you all. We got a guy there who's going to help you rent a car. It's great. And so it's getting pretty late into the night at this point, and we're at this rental car agency, and luckily this guy is still doing this for us. And so we start filling out paperwork, and he turns and says something to his son-in-law in Spanish, and the son-in-law laughs and says, "Sí." And I say, what did he say? He said, he asked me for a ride home. He's giving you his truck. Crazy. Nice gesture, not a nice truck. This thing is from like 1980. Stick shift, which I don't drive.
You do now.
I did. I figured it out real quick, and they said,
Tim. Oh man, see, I'm all about honesty, but you can't be a country boy and not know how to ring through them gears, buddy. Come on up to Maine. We'll go up to the racetrack. You'll be Jeff Gordon by the time you get on that plane back home. Okay? You got my word. No, that's terrible though. But I will say, a long stretch of dirt road with a 5-speed or 4, whatever it was, is nowhere near as bad as if it was New York City in a 5-speed and you're just riding the clutch for the entire 9 hours. That would be terrible. Still rough, especially if you've never driven one. I can see how that would be very intimidating and not a whole lot of fun. But it could have been worse. But finish your story, please, sir.
stick shift, which I don't drive.
You do now.
I did. I figured it out real quick, and they said, oh, by the way, he's the only one that knows how to start it. So
that's not good.
Tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning, come here. He'll start it for you. Don't turn it off between here and Ushuaia, Argentina. And I know there's a border crossing involved. There's a ferry that we have to take. And every ferry I've ever been on, they make you turn your cars off.
Uh-huh.
Luckily, it's the Wild West down there. So we were.
What?
We did it. We got up the next morning, bright and early. He came, did all the tricks to get it started for us. We set off on our journey with maps, of course. It's like our phones aren't working down there. Certainly not. They don't know how to get from Punta Arenas, Chile through Ushuaia, Argentina, through the Andes Mountains or whatever that is down there. And so, and I'm not kidding you. It's unpaved. They're just wild mountain goats. It was the wildest thing. But we got on the ferry. They didn't make us turn the car off. And then we come to the border crossing. And it's in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we have no business being there. We pull up. There's customs and immigration, I guess, but it's just in this concrete shell of a building. No air conditioning, chickens running around. No one asked us why we were there. Just nothing. I just walked in, not speaking a lick of English, put down my passport, and then she had to, of course, wait in the running truck by herself because we can't turn it off. And she goes in, and I come back out. And they don't even ask us why we're there. They're just like, enjoy, welcome to Argentina. But
why is nobody laughing?
Exchange, which is why I'm sharing this story with you. The border agent looks at my passport. Keep in mind, I've just described the scene to you. Concrete shell, chickens, no AC.
Yeah.
No paved roads. He looks at my passport and he goes, Texas? I say, see? And he goes,
Do you know why? Do you know why his stories are so great? Because of the visual that he paints. Like I saw the whole thing in my head, clear as day. Now, I was anticipating like, oh, you know the Cowboys or something, you know? But oh my god. Oh, it's almost over?
And that concludes Story Time with Tim, folks. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh, man. That's hilarious. I'll give you a quick version of the story time I was talking about, okay? So, thank you for watching if that's what you came for. Have a great night, but I just want to tell you guys this quick story. So, it was one of me and Saucy Mom's first trips together. It was me, two of my buddies, and her. And I was like, or we were 19, 20 years old. My buddies and I had a really bad habit of just, hey, you want to go to camp? Yeah, let's go. And camp's not down the road. Camp is 3.5 hours north, literally on the Canadian border. You could, if you got a good arm, you could throw a rock across the border. Dead serious. So she's like, are you guys serious? Yeah, we do this literally all the time, and it's never a great idea because I usually have $6 in my pocket, a quarter tank of gas, and we just figure it out. Just send it. Just figure it out. We always make it back somehow. So under very similar circumstances to those, we hop in my truck, okay, which is one of my dad's old work trucks. An old F-150 automatic. So there was that. I had cruise control at least and stuff. Where a camp is, though, okay, it's nice paved back roads, but pretty nice back roads for Maine. Again, nice roads, Maine. Don't hear a lot of that. They're about as nice as they get, okay? But once you get to the town the camp is in, and you turn off the main road, it's 12 miles. Nothing like what Tim had to endure, but 12 miles nonetheless on a logging road. So it's one lane, okay, all the way to the camp, or no, all the way to the intersection. There's a four-way, still dirt logging, single lane logging roads, and then you take a right and it's 2 miles more. So 14 miles on dirt roads that are notorious for just shredding tires. I've been going up there since I was a little kid. That's where my family hunts. That's where we go snowmobiling, four-wheeling. That's where we do a lot of our redneck activities, okay? We're right next to a mountain, so we do a lot of hiking, whatever. So anyways, we go up there, we spend a couple nights, we have a great time, and then we come to head home. I should have just moved there and never came back. We left at 8 o'clock in the morning. Got up, had breakfast, put everything back the way it was, shut the camp down, headed home. Again, been going there since I was a little kid. I know this road like the back of my hand, okay? So I'm cruising down the road, got Saucy Mom in the back seat. It's an extended cab, so it's not a full-size back seat. So she's sitting in the back seat next to one of my buddies. My other buddy's sitting up front with me. I'm cruising down the road. I'm doing like 65, okay? It's not like a trail through the woods. It's a road, but it is one lane, okay? So I'm literally doing 65 or so, just flying. We want to get home. Cruising. Everybody's talking, and all of a sudden I see something out of the corner of my window. Guys? Yeah, what? My driver's rear tire just passed us, going a lot faster than we were. Yeah, on a single lane logging road. Logging, as in giant trucks filled with a whole lot of weight in logs. Tire goes right past the truck. So I managed to get it slowed down, balancing on 3 wheels. Okay. Luckily, no trucks were coming. I get it off the side of the road, and I'm like, I got a spare, no big deal. The truck is sitting on the rotor for the brakes, okay? I get the jack under it with a bunch of finagling from sticks I found, whatever. I got my jack under it, I got the spare on, we're back on the road. Like 30 minutes I pulled this off. Nice. Barely even a speed bump in our journey. No pun intended. Get all the way off the logging road, okay? Do 14 miles on shale, managed to not have any other issues. And then we start our journey back home. And for an hour and a half of the journey or so, it's through mountain roads. So that really hit home when Tim said that, because it's literally just nonstop winding. And if you're on the right side of the road, like we were, you're just hanging over the edge of a cliff. There's a guardrail, but you see a really far drop, like a couple 100 feet at least, the whole way. I'm driving through the winding roads. We're just talking, listening to music, excited to get back home. And I literally we're going over the last hill. I'm very French if you can't tell. I talk with my hands. We're going over the last hill, like this means anything to you. We're going over the last hill of the mountain part of the roads, and then it's going to really smooth out and be pretty smooth sailing for the rest of the way home. Well, as I'm coming up over the hill, I get sucked right into the guardrail because my right front tire popped. I don't know about you guys, but I only keep one spare in my vehicle. Uno sparo. This is Maine. This is very northern Maine, okay? There are not a whole lot of people, believe it or not. Guys, we left camp at 8 in the morning. We got home at 9:30 that night. Okay? Yeah, that's how great this was. So, I'm going to speed it up here because I'll be here all night telling this story. It was the craziest day. And when Saucy Mom was still there next to me in the morning, I'm like, yeah, I got to marry her because that's about as wild as my days get. So if she can handle that, we're good. But I'm like, okay, guys, you hang out here. I'm just going to start walking because we have no cell service, absolutely no way to get in touch with a human being, and no spare tire. Hours from home. So literally stranded on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. No exaggeration to any of that. I'm like, I'm just going to start walking and see if I see a cabin or something, because there's a lot of that up there. There's like little fire roads, they call them, and people just build cabins. They buy little pieces of land and build cabins for hunting and all the other stuff I just told you about. So I start walking, okay? I find a place actually like a half a mile from where the truck broke down. So I ended up talking to somebody. I don't remember what I did at first. I think I called another buddy of mine, and then I said to the people that let me use their phone, who were, well, they lived in this place year round. They were, they weren't super cultured or civilized. Yeah, they weren't super civilized. Let's just say that. They live in the middle of nowhere with zero communication to the outside world year round. The craziest thing ever unfolded. Okay, so I walk back, I get my crew. We all go back to this guy's place, leave my truck on the side of the road, whatever. I said, do you think you could help me? Do you know any auto guys around here? Somebody that might have, it's a pretty common bolt pattern as far as a wheel that will fit on the truck. I said, I don't even care about the tire size. I just need something on there that will roll. Okay, I'll put the two good ones in the front, and I'll put the weird ones in the back, and we'll just drive until I can figure something out. I very honestly didn't think I was going to live beyond this evening after this next part of the story. This guy says, I might got something down back. You want to come look with me? I might got something down back. You might have something down back? As in a tire for my truck? Yeah, let's go look. Okay. So we're looking, and I'm just like, I just keep turning around and looking at my friends and Saucy Mom to see, make sure I can still see them. Because I'm in a walking trail in the middle of the woods with some very large gentleman that lives in the middle of nowhere year round. We're walking. I all of a sudden can't see anybody anymore. So I'm getting a little nervous. We're walking. I'm just like looking at the ground thinking to myself, please don't die. Please don't die. Let's get back home ASAP. And all of a sudden we're just walking. He goes, he stops. I'm like, what? And he points. He looks at me and he points out in the woods. I'm expecting to see like a black bear or something. So I look. There's like a 1940s Ford pickup truck that has grown into the earth. Okay? You can't see the bottom half of the truck. And he just points at it and looks at me with bug eyes like, what? Well, I might got one on there. I might got one fit your truck right there. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're probably right. So I went and looked. I'm like, oh, bummer. Tires are buried in the earth. So, long story short, we go back to the cabin. I make a couple more phone calls. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go grab some of our stuff from the truck, and then we'll be back. So we go back to the truck, okay? We're sitting there for a few minutes. Well, they are, while I gather some stuff out of my truck to go back to these people's place. A state trooper drives by. We're waving. Didn't even bat an eyelid. There's not like there's anything that could be distracting him from seeing us, people. It's pine trees and us with a truck in the middle of nowhere. Right by us, without even slowing down. 10 minutes or so goes by. A game warden. Right by, same thing. They're all waving. I look up. I'm like, oh, cool, a game warden. And I see them waving at him. And he just sees us. Doesn't even hit the brakes. I'm like, oh my God. So we go back to these people's place. We tried everything. We tried literally everything. I called every junkyard. This very nice man drove me all over this very little town to every human being he knows. Literally. I said, okay, guys, I'll be back, I think. If not, maybe they'll make a movie about me someday. I don't know. It'll be a horror movie, though, for sure. So he drives me all over this town to every place he knows. Nobody has a tire for the truck. We end up going back. I end up getting a hold of my dad, and I told him what's going on. I said, I just figured I'd get another set of hands working on this. Can you see if you can find a tire? So I end up finding one. I call him back, and I'm like, I found a tire. They'll let me buy it over the phone, but how am I going to get it here? The closest place that had one that would fit was like an hour and a half from where we were. So nowhere close to us. It wasn't like we could just run down and grab it and come back. Probably more like 2 hours from us. So I'm sitting in these strange people's houses. Very nice people, but a little odd. Okay. I'm sitting there and we're talking, me and my friends and Saucy Mom, and I'm like, what are we going to do? My dad calls me back. He's like, look, I called every taxi company. I called everybody I can think of. Nobody will bring the tire. It's against their policy to do that or whatever. I'm like, are you serious? He goes, I offered to pay him extra. Nobody will do it. Dude, great. So I'm thinking we're going to end up shacking up with these people here, and who knows what the hell happens if that's the case. I'm getting a little nervous. They hear me talking to Saucy Mom and my friends. What's the matter? What'd you find? Huh? What? I told him the name of the junkyard and the name of the town. Well, I found a tire and I bought it. I own the damn thing, but I don't know how I'm going to get it here. You go, well, Jesus Christ, yeah. Jesus Christ. My neighbor right here, she works right across the street. What? Works across the street from where? That junkyard you just told me about. In English. So the junkyard that I told him we got the tire from, a woman he was renting a cabin out to, a cabin on his property. He was renting it out to a woman that worked across the street from the junkyard I bought the tire at. 2 hours from this place. What are the chances? Like, I was just so blown away. I'm like, this is either a plan to get us to stay longer so he can fire up the barbecue and tie us up, or this is a real thing that's happening right now. Either way, I'm not sure what's going on. So he calls her and he said, yeah, she hasn't left the office yet. She's going to grab the tire and she'll bring it up with her when she comes home. I'm like, okay, thank you. I don't even know what to say. She was literally coming to the driveway we were in, no matter what. And she was coming from across the street from the place that had my tire, 2 hours from where we were. I'm like, there's just no way this is happening right now. So she ends up bringing the tire to the place. We get it. It's dark now. We left camp at 8 in the morning. Again, it's pitch black out now. I get the tire on the truck. I put the 2 bad ones in the back, the 2 good ones in the front. I'm like, let's go home. Let's go home. And remember how I told you we usually just got up and left regardless of what was in our pockets for money? The truck had been running for so long, off and on during that day. We burnt up what we had for gas. And I had $6. And we had a 3-hour journey ahead of us. So we make it, okay, with change. We scrounged up every penny that was in the truck and on our persons. And we got to, I want to say, 8 miles from my house. Okay, and I'm like, I got a buddy that works at the gas station on the corner up the road. We'll swing by there, and I'm sure he'll let me throw in $10, and I'll stop by and pay him tomorrow. Only problem is it was 8:54, and they close at 9. 9 p.m. Again, we left at 8 a.m., people. I'm flying. I'm going as fast as I can with 4 mismatched tires, no gas, a bunch of really tired, hungry, scared people in my truck. So, true story, okay? I told Saucy Mom, climb up the seat, because I knew if I shut the truck off, it wasn't going to start again. It was on fumes at this point. We could kind of see the light to the gas station, but at this time, it's like 8:56 now, 8:57. And it's not like a lot of other gas stations. When they close, they close. The pumps get shut off, and there's nothing they can do about it until they open the next morning. I told Saucy Mom, climb up here, grab the wheel. I'm going to slide out from under you while you put your foot on the gas, and I'm going to climb out back. We pulled the transition off. She gets in the front seat. She's got the wheel. She's got the gas. She's driving. I hop in the back. I open up the sliding window to go into the cab of the truck, the bed of the truck. It has a cap on it because it's a working truck. I climb into the bed of the truck. I grab the gas can. And I said, just let off the gas, but do not hit the brakes, because it had ran out. It literally ran out of gas, and it's like 8:57 now, like I said. So we're coasting, can see the light to the gas station, but it's still like a half a mile or so, maybe a little less than that. I grab the gas can. The truck is still driving down the road. I open the bed from inside. I got the gas can. I jump out of the bed of the moving truck, stumble, fall, get back up, and I just start Forrest Gumping my way to this gas station. I run all the way up there, and I see that they still have a light on inside. So I'm like, yes. Oh my God, this nightmare is over. I'm running as fast as I can. Get to the door and boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh my, I literally wanted to just break down and sob right then and there. Luckily, my buddy happened to be working, and he came out and he saw me. He opened the door. He helped me figure it out. There was the gas in a can there. We swapped out for cans. I went and did the switcheroo the next day. Literally woke up the next morning like this, in my driver's seat, and I look over, and Saucy Mom's sleeping in the passenger seat. We literally pulled in the driveway of home and just fell asleep. We died right then and there. Died for the night. Woke up at like 6 o'clock the next morning. Went inside, got in our bed, and went to bed for a better part of that day. But yeah, very interesting. Interesting first trip with my now wife. So if you guys stuck around for that whole thing, you're a legend. I'm very French to be telling stories on camera, so hopefully you got the gist of that. It was a pretty wild day. Never found the tire, by the way. That did 70 plus by my truck. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy indeed. Also, the day before we drove home, we're sitting by the fire, and the fire is like right on the Cutting Road, kinda. Well, a little road off the Cutting Road. We're all sitting by the fire, and we hear this noise. It's like, bum 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 bum, like loud, and you can feel it in your feet. I'm like, what the hell? And then I look at the Saucy Mom, and she's like, and she's just pointing past me, and she's just white. I look, and there's a mama moose and 2 baby moose, which, if you've never seen a baby moose is bigger than most horses. No exaggeration whatsoever. Moose are absolutely huge. Up here anyway, up there anyway. Literally running straight at us. I'm looking the mama in the eyes. She has a baby on each side of her, so a horse on each side of her, and then she's like a Clydesdale, just sprinting straight at us. So we're like, we fall out of our chairs, haul ass into the camp, shut the door, and it's just like, oh my God, hearts beating out of our chests. Man. Yeah, so that was a wild weekend. Pretty wild weekend indeed. I haven't been back up to camp with $6 since then. I try to be more prepared when I go up now. 2 spares, at least $100, some food and water in the truck because we didn't have any of that either. So it was a pretty wild day. Oh man. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening to that. If you're still here. Yeah, leave some more suggestions in the comments. Probably not going to get to the really haunted video tonight, but luckily we went twice as long as we were supposed to last night. So technically I'm a night ahead. Okay, give me a break. We still did 2 videos, right? Anyways, man, leave me some more suggestions. That was a great story time by Tim. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for contributing to us helping out the family's Christmas this year. Really, really appreciate that. That is going to be a pretty magical moment when we get to make that exchange with them. So thank you guys for everybody that's clicked the link in the description and donated so far. You guys are so awesome. Really just amazing people. And we are very grateful. So thank you guys so much. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay safe out there in that crazy world, man. This is Saucy Dad. Until next time. Peace out, my friends.